All right, hello everybody. I am here with Andrea Venturoli. I met Andrea probably in January. Yeah, January 24th. So at the beginning of the year. So he started with me about 3 months ago. And when Andrea came to me, he was looking to improve his fluency. Okay, he wanted to use English for work, I believe, and then also I think possibly for work opportunities.
Yeah.
For work opportunities. And I don't remember if he wanted, I think, to increase his confidence. And so we started about 3 months ago. And I actually want Andrea to explain what was his motivation for learning English. So I'll start with you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Um, my motivation for learning English has started for work needs, but day by day I started um, um, to love this experience, and now I want to learn English for principally for myself, for my growth, for my personal growth, and yeah, the work needs are still important, but uh, my personal growth has acquired a significant side in the motivation.
So my personal growth has required a significant, say the last part again. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. My personal growth has acquired a significant a significant space in my motivation overall, my overall motivation.
Probably size. You probably mean size, a significant size.
Size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before you met me, what was your situation like with English?
Before meeting you, I studied English at high school, um, but I didn't study it at the university. I read some book in English, but I haven't uh, the opportunity to practice.
I didn't have. I didn't have.
I didn't have the opportunity to practice my spoken English.
Mhm.
Um, so uh, this is a need that I have to improve my fluency.
Okay. And how did we meet?
Okay,
We
uh,
met
we met in LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Um, First in LinkedIn with a message by you. um, and then we had a 30-minute meeting in Skype
Mhm.
where you introduced to me your system, your kind of professionality. Um,
Your profession, you can say your professionalism.
Professionalism, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds, it's a fancy word. It's a big word.
And all started from here.
Yeah. Started from LinkedIn. And what was your process of learning English before you met me? What was your process like?
Um, before meeting you, I really didn't have a process, um, a real process. Um, Sometimes uh, I read something on websites or or books, and occasionally I I listened to the radio, to the BBC radio station,
Mhm.
um, and that was all, no else
Nothing else.
substantially. No, really not.
Okay. And what is your process now after starting with me? What is your learning process?
Now I have the three important milestones that are the consistency,
Hmm.
the repetitions, and having fun.
And having fun, exactly.
So I'm practicing my consistency, having everyday practice, everyday reading, everyday listening to the radio, um, the repetitions, using some apps like Duolingo or Tiny Cards,
Hmm.
and having fun. Because I'm trying to find in any way I'm trying to find ways to learn English that are at the same time funny,
Fun.
like
Yeah, fun.
television or radio or reading something nice to me, um, looking some
Looking at
looking at some
movies.
movies in English or TV series in English also. I'm looking at Westworld now, the new series of Westworld in English in the original version.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm having fun uh, in this process.
Okay. And how has your English changed since starting with me?
Um, Now I'm um, more aware of my um, potentiality,
Potential.
potential. Um, I'm aware that I have a long way to do in fluency
A long way to go
to go for improve
to
my
improve.
fluency,
To
to
improve.
improve my fluency.
Yeah.
But I'm aware that mm, I have made significant steps in this direction. I feel myself more 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 aware in this process.
More aware. What do you mean by that? More aware.
Um,
Like, can you give an example?
I know where are my um, strengths and my
Weaknesses.
weaknesses in this sense. And I'm starting to speak a little more fluently,
That's great.
I think.
Okay. So your fluency has changed a little bit.
I think that it's really changed since 3 months ago or 4 months ago.
Okay. Is there a specific event that happened, or did someone say anything, or did you realize this by yourself?
No, I think that the event was meeting you and starting to follow your advice, your system, and it was fundamental for me. It was very important.
Okay. And I forgot to ask you. Well, Andrea he came to me. His level was a B2. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. Um, so he's a B2, and we talked about his goals, and his goals was to reach C1
C1, yeah,
in the next year. All right. So I gave him a few things, a few tools to use, and he's been practicing every single day.
yeah.
So he's following the system, which is great, and he's seeing results. And so, a question that I have for you is: are you using English at work?
Sometimes I actually have only one customer that is from UK and from Netherlands. Sometimes we have a conference call with this customer in English with other colleagues. So sometimes I have the opportunity to practice at work too.
Okay. And another question that I have for you is: do you have uh, any stories when you saw an improvement in your English, like maybe watching TV or reading a book, or any stories or examples?
Sorry, Paul. I didn't understand the sense of your question.
All right. So, can you give us some stories or examples of any other improvements?
Um,
For example, one day I was
okay,
at
okay.
work and I was talking to a friend, and 3 months ago, when I talked to the same friend, I couldn't say anything. But now I'm able to produce sentences, blah, 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 blah. So, do you
Yeah.
have any like stories where you saw, oh, okay, it's improving?
Okay. The first story is about listening, um, because uh, I was used to listen BBC radio station also before meeting Paul. But my comprehension of the BBC was, I think, no more than 50%, 40%. Now I think to understand mm,
I
70
think I
or
think I understand.
I think I understand the 70 or the 80% of all I listen to,
Everything I hear.
of everything I hear. Okay. So for me, it's a great progress. Um,
It's great progress. No
it's great.
article.
Okay, it's great progress. Um, another story is about the speaking side, because I think that the first lesson with you, Paul, my speaking, I think that was very, very bad and very poor. I think that today uh, I I'm able to speak to you um, with more fluency, and I'm able to find the words in a speedy way. Speedy ways. I don't
Or
know
you say
if
in a fast way, in a
in a
fast way.
fast way. Okay.
That is awesome. That's good to hear. And the last question that I have for you is: what advice do you have for students who are thinking about taking classes with me? And what advice do you have for my current students? So students who are not students yet, what advice do you have for them?
My advice is to follow you, to um, have classes with you. If 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 they have the possibility, I advise them to have class more frequently than I can have, because unfortunately I have no time because I'm very busy with my work. But I think that if I could, I I would have three class per week.
3 classes per
Three
week.
classes per week. One class per week is not enough, I think. Um, mm,
Okay.
So it's very important that they stay with you and that they are more frequent in their classes.
Okay. So to have more frequent classes.
To have more frequent classes. Yeah.
And my current students, any advice for them?
I think that they have to insist um, and to follow you because actually I think that following you I really changed my approach to English to the English um,
With learning English.
with learning English.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Any other comments that you would like to make before we go?
Really don't know, Paul. I'm very happy to study English. I'm very happy to study English with you, and I hope to go ahead with my preparation.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Andrea. It's been a pleasure, and we will continue with the class.
Thank you, Paul.